gentleman by the name of Bob Calhoun, who is the assistant superintendent for Kanawha County Schools, just in passing had mentioned to me, we'd really like to develop something for preschool. I happened to be working on a few other things with Joe Murphy, who's the CEO of Murphy Media, in relationship to opioid prevention and education. And had mentioned to him, hey, what do you think about creating something that could be applicable to the pre-K environment?
Get to the older ones, sometimes they've already got this mindset of, bad habits. Because they
with boxes, and you guys might too. But if I get a really good box, I have a hard time throwing that box out. Well, we don't want to do that with medication. You know, if we're done with the medication or it's old and expired, we want to go ahead and get rid of it. We don't want to keep Rex around.
It's really important that we think about looking in our medicine cabinets and on our countertops, and if medication is expired or something that we're not using anymore, that we get rid of it. We get rid of it properly, right, Lynn?
Absolutely.
So we often get calls and people want to know what is the safest way to get rid of medication. Some people will say, well, just flush it down the toilet. We don't want you to do that. There are many medications that should not go into the water system because they might impact our water supply. So the very safest way is to get a disposal kit and follow the directions. And in September, we are going to be offering free disposal kits at every Fruth Pharmacy for anyone who comes in and asks for it. And this is through our partnership with the West Virginia Drug Intervention Institute. And we're really excited about having this because we get a lot of calls from people who say, we want to get rid of the medication safely. How do we do that? So this is a great product that we're going to have just for the asking. And make sure you teach your children about the importance of getting rid of the medicine after it's gone. We don't want to keep Rex around.
Absolutely.
And we really know that statistically about 9 in 10 childhood poisonings happen in the home. And we also have a really high number of children in West Virginia who are living with grandparents, which is fabulous. I think grandparents are heroes for making that happen. But sadly, not always do we store our medication properly. And so grandparents are more likely to have multiple prescriptions. They're more likely to have opioid prescriptions. And unfortunately, older persons are less likely to store their medications properly. And so that makes them very accessible to children as well. So it makes it really important of getting rid of those older medications, even just more of an important point.
Absolutely, Dr. Susan. Thank you so much for sharing those. I know you always know the statistics side of it, so I greatly appreciate that because I don't think a lot of people realize how serious the problem can be and how many times these things can be avoided just by practicing some basic things that we're going to talk about here in just a moment.
Well, and the other thing is, besides, we can try to be as good about keeping medication safe. I actually had a pharmacist who had a safety lid, and his 2-year-old climbed up onto a dresser and got it and was able to get the lid off. So that safety cap is child resistant, but children may be able to get it open. So it's really important to teach children what they should do when they see a prescription bottle. And that's always take it to an adult. Get an adult to be in charge of that, and they should never be opening it or doing anything with it. They need to alert an adult.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And one of the things we've also partnered with Fruth Pharmacies to do is to offer an activity sheet for families to pick up at their local Fruth Pharmacy, take it home, and then this could actually help facilitate the conversation between you and the children in your home. If you look on the back, there's some great examples of how to stay medication safe. You know, making sure it's up and out of the reach, capping your medicine, not sharing your medications, only take medicine as prescribed. This is a big one. Making sure that you're following the dosage recommendedly, even on our over-the-counter medications. And then talk with your kids about being safe. Some people think that maybe they're too young, but as if they can spell their name, it's not too early to talk about medication. And you guys are going to be running a special contest for those 4 to 8-year-olds, aren't you?
We are. Inside of the activity sheet, there's actually a wonderful coloring sheet. It gives you a good opportunity, and I plan to do this with my grandchildren this weekend. Gives us an opportunity to talk to them about what they should do if they see a medication bottle and why we need to be safe. This coloring contest will be open for all children ages 4 to 8. And as parents, parents or grandparents, you can just snap a picture of the coloring sheet, send it in to our email, which will come up on the screen, msherman@fruithpharmacy.com, or you can find that on our website if you need. And we will select at random several winners who will get a nice, appropriate child toy. And also, your child's coloring might be on the Fruth Pharmacy Facebook page for other people to see and brag on them. It just helps us get that conversation started about what our children should do.
I know, I'm excited to take this home to my 4-year-old and share it with her. She loves the color. And just being able to reinforce these ideas with her, I think is a great idea too.
Absolutely. I don't have any young children, but I like to color myself.
Yeah.
So I know I'm not eligible for the contest though, but I may still color my own Rex.
And just as we can teach our children not to play in the street, even at the age of 2 or 3, if we make a point as parents and grandparents to teach our children not to bother medication bottles, we can teach that same skill. We just need to be focused on it.
Wonderful. And if it's okay, I'd like to speak to the younger viewers that we may have right now. So kiddos, I want you to help remind your parents of a couple of points today, and I want you to do these motions with me, okay? So when we see medication, we want to make sure that the parents know that the cap needs to be on the medicine. So
Hey, wait a minute.
is that Rex?
You know it.
Rex!
Rex doing
Hey.
here?
I was not expecting you.
I was not expecting Rex to show up today at all. I thought you were stuck in the storm, Rex.
I did too.
Well, I'll just let you do your thing.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe you can hammer these points home with me, Rex, okay? So, kids, we want to make sure that the caps are on our medication, and only the adults handle the medication, remember? So let's make our little cap sign here. Here's our cap, and we are going to go cap it on the count of 3 together, guys. Are you listening? All right. 1, 2, 3. Cap it! And the second thing is we want to make sure that we are only taking medicine that has our name on it, okay? So pretend my shirt is a label, and on this, we're going to say, and know it. So on my shirt is my name, and we're going to say, know it together, okay, guys? On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Know it!
Yeah.
And then, when our medication, if we're done with it, or it's old and it's expired, you know, like a Rexy boy over there, we want to make sure we don't keep him around. We want to throw him, all right? Or this,
Goodbye,
I'm like
Rex.
slipping. So don't keep medications in the house. Help reduce the chance of somebody accidentally getting a hold of that medicine. Get rid of it safely. Stop by your Fruth Pharmacy and you can pick up your medication disposal kit. But we don't want to keep Rex around. So why don't you go ahead and
so
go
long.
bye-bye.
Bye, Rex.
I was glad he was able to stop in, even if it was just for a moment.
Me too. Me too. And we're just so excited about our partnership with Lynn Fruth and Fruth Pharmacy. And we believe that medication safety is something that we need to talk to people about across the lifespan, starting with the littlest person to adults. And so this is a really unique way to make that happen. We have the opportunity together to get about 40,000 pills out of homes. We typically say off the streets, but we know that most persons, when they misuse medication, it's because they obtained that from a friend or a family member. So getting those expired and unused medications out of homes is just crucial. And we're not just talking about opioid medications, it's really all medications because they can be very dangerous if they're taken by somebody who they're not prescribed for. So we're super excited and we hope that you will definitely stop by your Fruth Pharmacy. You can learn more about the contest and the rules at our webpage, wvdii.org, as well as on Fruth Pharmacy's webpage. And we hope that we will be able to bring Lynn and Rex back soon. And so we're coming up on October. Believe it or not, it's almost September.
Yes,
And then we'll have
crazy.
October, which is National Medication Safety Month. So stay tuned for what the 3 of us have cooked up next, because it should be some good stuff.
And Rex has popped back up. So Rex,
Yeah, Rex, I didn't
Beat
say
it,
you
Rex.
could be here.
Get
Just
out of
be
here.
Get
there.
out of here,
Come on.
Rex.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah,
See you
thank
soon.
you.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Gentleman by the name of Bob Calhoun, who is the assistant superintendent for Kanawha County Schools, just in passing had mentioned to me we'd really like to develop something for preschool. I happened to be working on a few other things with Joe Murphy, who's the CEO of Murphy Media, in relationship to opioid prevention and education, and had mentioned to him, hey, what do you think about creating something that could be applicable to the pre-K environment?
Get to the older ones, sometimes they've already got this mindset of, you know, bad habits. Just they see what's around them, and you know, you're unfortunately, sometimes a product of your environment. And if we get to them early and they start learning good habits, the earlier the better.
Never imagined that within 4 or 5 weeks we would have a talking avatar that could interact with the children in real time. And we named him Rex the RX.
Have you been telling Mrs. Webb in her class all about, this?
What's
Some of
that?
this?
What's that?
Oh, that's pretty cool, huh? Don't you wish you had one? I'll bet Joshua wishes he had one. And what about Temperance? Hey, Temperance, do you have a hat? Blake.
He's not going to high five you or give you a hug. He will interact with you, but the whole purpose of Rex is that we don't want the kids to keep Rex around.
Oh, guys. Bye.
This is the way, in my judgment, to reach them. They're used to being interactive, and they really don't respond to anything but that. So you've got to find a way to make that impression and make it last.
Hey guys, what do you think of my hat? You like it? Anybody here wear a hat? No?
The kids like Rex because he's also interactive, and he can, communicate in the actual classroom. So you can say the kids' names, and that gets their attention immediately.
The response has just been amazing. The kids really relate to the avatar. So if they do have a prescription medication that they take, which a lot of kids do, we want them to use that medication properly, but we also want to ensure that they're not sharing medications.
For almost
We
70
know that we
years, Fruit
have
Pharmacy has
an
been working
enormous
to
amount
keep
of children living
medications
with
safe.
grandparents,
During
living
August
in
and
foster
September,
care.
visit any
We
of our
know
Fruit
that
locations
grandparents
to
that
get
age
information
group,
about
they're more
proper
likely to have
medication
multiple
disposal,
prescriptions,
a free
where they
medication
probably
disposal
shouldn't be,
kit,
where they're much more
and for the
accessible.
kids, a Don't
So
Keep
it's
Rex
a
Around
short
activity
program,
sheet.
but it's very
Hey,
effective.
what do you mean don't keep Rex around?
Oh, hey Rex, I've got this. Bye-bye, Rex. Join us on August 28th to learn more about medication safety.
A gentleman by the name of Bob Calhoun, who is the assistant.
For almost 70 years, Fruit Pharmacy has been working to keep medications safe. During August and September, visit any of our Fruit locations to get information about proper medication disposal, a free medication disposal kit, and for the kids, a Don't Keep Rex Around activity sheet.
Hey, what do you mean don't keep Rex around?
Oh, hey Rex, I've got this. Bye-bye, Rex. Join us on August 28th to learn more about medication safety.